Hello, listener. I want to remind you to check out my new Ultra Tri Fest coming to Whistler, British Columbia in August 2024. It has 5 racing formats to choose from, and the feature event will be the new Ultra 515 Worldwide Championships, in which racers from every 515 race in the world may attend. Get all the details at ultratrifestcanada.com and feel free to contact me personally with any questions.
You're listening to 515, the Ultra Podcast, the show that invites you into the lives of people who make up the Ultra family. Here's your host for these conversations, Larry Ryan.
Thanks, Mary Jo. Today I will be introducing you to a race director from a 515 event that occurs on the Mediterranean coast of Spain. And this episode is out early because that race starts today. So after listening to this episode, go check out the race online. My Ohana guest today is not only an athlete, but also a race director. As an athlete, he has completed 10 iron distance events, 1 515 event, and a number of trail ultras, half irons, and marathons. He has put his schooling together with his athletic passion and uses his business management degree and master's in event management to run his own business, Infinitri Sports Events. My guest today, joining me from Valencia, Spain, is Manu Garcia. Hello, welcome to 515.
Hello, Larry. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you through the Zoom technology as well. What is it like today with your weather in Valencia? We're in fall here in North America. I'm in Vancouver. We get a little bit of rain in the fall, a little bit of wind. We lucked out yesterday. It was still sunny and 20. I don't know if you get the full amount of seasons there where you are. Tell us a little bit about the weather in Spain.
Well, I don't want to to put things like it's sunny, but we are in fall again.
Yeah.
But we are in a hot wave again. It's like summer. It's October, but we this morning I training my bike, and I'm sort of live in October. It's 13 degrees more or less. It's amazing. It's crazy because the summer every year is long, and it's directly to the winter. There is no fall in Spain. It's summer to winter, winter to summer. Is crazy.
Yeah, right. And do you choose to hold your race at this time of year because of that hot season in the summer? Do you need to avoid that? Would it be impossible to run your event then?
Yes, it's one of the principal reasons because we have in this time of days a lot of day of light.
Mm.
We have the sunset more or less 8 in the morning, and in the afternoon the light is also to the 8 p.m.
Okay.
So we have a lot of day of light to make the race, but the temperature is a little bit down because in June, July, August, September is crazy to do a race like this. The people can do this race in this temperature.
Not even the ultra people.
Yes, they are tough, but not tough enough.
Yeah. Well, I know you, as I said, you've got a whole triathlon events company that you organize, and you do have smaller events over the summer. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the events that you hold? What are the distances? And they're not all in the same place. I believe they're around different areas of the east coast of Spain. So just a quick rundown of what you do.
Yes, we started 10 years ago in 2013 as a company, and we start with a tough test, which is the first half distance in our region. there's no middle of long distances in our region. All was sprint and Olympic, and we started the first edition of the race. It's in Peñíscola, is in the north of Valencia, an hour and a half to Valencia. And this is our most important race. We have 11 editions. We are PTO event. We have important triathletes like Tindon. This year race Ashley Gentle, Josh Amberger, Pierre Lecour. It's one of the most important races in Spain and also in Europe. Is going to know for the people, for the triathletes.
Yeah. And is that one also associated with the PTO?
Is eligible to point to the PTO ranking.
Yeah.
So we have a prize purse of 10,000 euros, and then is in the level of PTO of bronze 7. Is bronze, silver, gold, and this is a bronze 7 from the PTO.
Okay.
So the people who are in the first places earn points to the PTO ranking.
Excellent.
So it's our most important races. Is the principal race of the year. Is the next year is 28th of April. Is our first race of the calendar. Then 2 years later, in 2015, we had 2 more races. One sprint distance and one triathlon cross, like Xterra, similar.
Right.
And then 2 years later, in 2017, we had the Infinitri Man and another half distance. And then our last race we had was 3 days ago, first long distance, the Infinitri 226, also in Peñíscola. So we have Peñíscola, Vila-real, Castellón, and Burriana. This is our four venues that we held there.
And those are all kind of, you say, within an hour and a half of the Valencia area. Yeah. And that's south of Barcelona on the east side, correct?
Yes, correct. Barcelona is 3 hours away in the north.
Okay. Yeah.
You can arrive by plane if you are from outside Spain. Maybe Valencia, maybe Barcelona is the next more approaching point.
So people that are maybe traveling to come to one of your races and they also want to get a little more of the Spain experience, it's easy to pop up to Barcelona or fly in through that way.
Yes.
Excellent. So Manu, when did you start your triathlon career?
As an athlete?
Yeah, as an athlete.
Well, it's a later point because I was a chubby child. So I don't go into sports since I was a teenager. In fact, I started with mountain bike. It was the 90s, is the mountain bike boom. In fact, we know Whistler about mountain bike.
Oh, yeah.
It's well known in Spain, Whistler, because of the downhills and all the people that ride there. So it's an amazing place. And then I do a sport, but like not like a competitive way.
Okay.
But I know the triathlon because I work as a lifeguard in a pool.
Yeah.
And sometimes I see teams in some countries of Europe that in winter or fall come to Spain to make stages of training.
Right.
And I know the sport of triathlon. In fact, we know also like Ivan Raña won the World Championship in 2002, the Olympic. But it was till 2010 I started to do triathlon because I saw as reserved for the elite persons. I don't know. I cannot think that I can do this thing because I think it's amazing what the people do. the Ironman thing, and I don't think I can do this thing. It is impossible.
Right.
So as always, as a game with little friends that we train, we sing up to a sprint distance. Obviously, is the start for everyone. And I start there, and I like it. And a year before, I do my first half distance, and a year before, uh, a year after, sorry,
Yeah.
do my first Ironman, and then all started.
Just keeps going. Yeah. That's not an uncommon story. Once you get hooked, you just keep going for the next distance.
Yes.
So, how old were you at that time? You said you came to it a little bit later. Had you already finished your schooling?
Yes. I was 30 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, I mentioned in the introduction that you do business management and you have a master's in event organization. So I'm guessing at the time you weren't putting those two together. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go run sport event activities. What was your original plan with your education, and then how did it morph into running this sport event company?
Well, was as many times it was destiny. I think
Nice.
when I finished my degree, I don't want to work in an office. I don't want all my friends work in a bank, in an office, in a management. I don't want this thing. I don't want to work more practice, more active. And I started to work in a bike shop because there are some bike shops in our town, and they want to open a new one, and they want me as a manager of this bike shop. And I think, what is cool? I'm into sport. It's a active way of work. You meet people, you meet the brands, the new bicycles is a good way to work. But in Spain, 2009 was an important crisis, economical.
Mm.
So I get fired. So I was without work, and I started to think to make my own company. But I need several years to gather all information, how the races work, what we need to put a race into a reality.
Mhm.
And then with some friends that are in similar situations, finally we created the company, and we start this first half distance triathlon. Uh, I think we didn't know what we are going to do. We know
Yeah.
after we do the race because uh, when you organize something, you think it's gonna be this way, but it's
Yes.
multiple. And the show must go on. Is the principal way. The
Yeah,
participant didn't know all the things that happens in the other side of the court time,
exactly.
but
And how many people are coming to your half distance now?
1,200.
Wow. Okay, so this is a big event you're putting on. You
Good
jumped in,
number.
and what was it in the first year?
200.
Okay, that's some nice growth there.
Yeah.
And you've been putting on a half distance Ultraman for a few years now, but the race that you're doing this weekend is how many of full distance Ultraman races have you done?
Organizing this is the seventh edition.
The seventh edition of your full length Ultraman race.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
And I should say that um, it is happening right now this weekend. We've recorded this a little bit in advance, and you're in your last few days of getting ready to organize it. So I do appreciate you taking the time to come and speak to me. So in your 7 years of running this full distance one, tell me a little bit about how the growth has gone on that particular race.
Well, we saw for the first edition, the Ultraman is not like all the other events, because the other events that we organize is, a lot of people. You need to do one thing, another thing. It's quickly. You don't even know the participants. Maybe a few people, like from every year or something, but you didn't know how are the name of this participant or this another.
Right.
And the Ultraman is quite the opposite. I think I have the the telephone numbers of every participant of the Ultraman. We we talk in Christmas. We send WhatsApp. Is another kind of relation with the participants.
Yeah.
So as we know this is different, we wanted to make the professional approach of the other races. We have the same finish line, but all the setup is quite good, quite beautiful. But the organizing is different because this participant needs to feel there's a friend in the race director. No, you can talk to him, and we as we organize outside the town, all the people, all the staff, and the participants are in the same hotel. So we have dinner together, have breakfast together. So it's a stress relationship. So over the years, the growth of the race has different points because we started with 12 teams, remember, and grows step by step, not too much. As I mentioned before, the top we have was 55 participants.
Yeah.
So it's different because in the other races we want the maximum number of participants. But the Ultraman, we don't want to have a spectacular number. We want that the people who come feels a good, warming welcome, and we want to provide this experience. It's not a number; it's a different thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I think people who listen to this podcast are all part of that Ohana experience, and they know what you're talking about when you say that. If they've done these races, and for people that are listening that are thinking about doing the races, and they're trying to pick up tips on how to do it, yeah, that is probably the most special part of doing these things, is that it is a small community, and over 3 days, everybody knows everybody else. And when you leave, you have 100 new friends between the athletes and crew that you can actually call on for some help from time to time, and and you meet up again at other races, and it becomes very special. Today's episode is brought to you by Ultra Fest Canada, where you can race the traditional 515, a 515 relay, or a 515 non-stop. There's also a 360K format, which does not require a crew. And because we are hosting you in Whistler, there is also an Ultra Gravel race. Check us out at ultratrifestcanada.com. And if you've always wanted to go to a 515 World Championship, check out the information on the website about our new Worldwide Championship, which is available to every 515 racer of all time. Again, that is at ultratrifestcanada.com, coming to Whistler, British Columbia in August 2024. And so many people having that experience is what then turns them on to organizing these events. That's what happened to me. I was a crew member at these events for a number of years, and then started organizing with Ultraman Canada as a co-race director, and now putting on my own Ultra Tri-Fest in Whistler. Is that kind of what happened to you too? Did you fall in love when you went and did your 5:15 race experience? Is that what was part of why you wanted to make sure that these events were still happening in Spain? I understand the race that you did no longer is happening there because, like so many of these smaller races, they don't necessarily make it through those low numbers of participants. Tell me a little bit about your 5:15 race experience. Where was it? What, like, how many years ago was it? And did that happen to you?
Yes, in fact, as many people in Spain, we know about Ultraman about 2008 because I think maybe a small part of people of Spain know about Ultraman. But in a TV show called Informe Robinson, is a ex-football player who make a documentary about sports, but histories outside the mainstream, I
Mm.
know. And he make a episode about the one Spaniard that is going to the Ultraman Hawaii. And this episode was aired in the national TV, so all the people could see it. And all my friends see it, and we say, "What the f is this?" so, so we were amazed because we know the Ironman distance, Hawaii, everything, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
it's insane.
Which athlete was it?
It's called Joseph Akram.
Yes. Okay. Of course.
Yes.
Very well known in the Ultraman community.
So my friends were talking about for weeks, for months. What is this? What because we didn't know anything about it. And for the past the years, we started to know about the distance, and we want to try to do it. When I do my first Ironman races, I think, well, I'm doing my first Ironman, and what it's if I train a little bit more, maybe I can do an Ultraman, no?
Yeah.
Uh, so I was thinking to do an Ultraman was held in UK.
The Ultraman Wales.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the year I was thinking to do it was announced this race in Spain, in Montreal.
Mm.
So I think is the best opportunity to try it. And also, we are thinking to organize 5:15 race.
Mhm.
So I sing up to that race to 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 try to do the race and also to try to know more about the race if
Right.
in case we organize in the future or race. It was in 2016, and the year after we organize our race.
Oh, wow. A quick turnaround on that. And what was the race experience like there in Montreal for you?
Well, I didn't finish. This is the
That's all right.
the the negative part. Uh, the first day was I was thinking, well, is well like anything in triathlon, like Ironman distance. You think it's impossible, but you make the first step, then the second step, and
Right.
you finally. And the first stage, I was quite frightening about the swim
Mm.
because kilometers is something I think nobody trained for this. But I managed quite good,
Mhm.
and also the bike leg. And I think I did my first mistake. That was I'm quite well this first stage, so I'm going to push a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah,
I
okay.
think was the first mistake because you need all kind of energy you have in your body for the rest of the days.
Hmm.
But the second stage, I remember I woke up, my head was paining because all the effort for the day
Mm.
before, and I don't think I'm gonna to do it, but I started, I going, but by the kilometer 200, I have a problem with my feet. I have a lot of blisters,
Mm.
and the time cut is was approaching too fast.
Hmm.
And finally, I call it a day because I can continue.
Mm.
And it's a pity because of the blisters of my foot, I couldn't try to do at least a part of the stage three the day after.
Right.
But was an important experience because I know a lot of friends that are also nowadays a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like comes back to what we were talking about. You meet those friends there at the race, and sure, maybe you didn't have your best race that day, but it
Mhm.
didn't take away from your experience. Like the fact that you didn't become an official finisher doesn't take away from all the other great things that happen at the event.
Yes, of course.
Tell me a little bit about like how did you feel then with your DNF at the race? Was it crushing for you, or was it just another one of those life learning experiences on the road of triathlon?
Yeah, it was definitely a life experience because first of all, I didn't think I was capable to do it, and simply to do the first stage was a victory for me.
Mm.
Even in I know it's not about the times, it's not about the position you finish.
Mhm.
It's an experience. In fact, in our race, we have the phrase is it's not a competition, it's an adventure.
Right.
Uh, but in this, in my experience, when I finished the first stage and I was in the middle of the table, I think it was important for me because I am a poor athlete, I think, and see myself in this position was amazing for me,
Mhm.
and in the part of the competitive way. But the experience was amazing because see a lot of people loving as you this kind of races,
Mm.
and people are not preoccupied for being the first. If you have a problem, a puncture or a mechanical, they always take a time to question you if you need something or help or something because in another races like Ironman, the people they don't want to help you.
Yeah.
They want to overtake you and finish in front of you.
Yeah.
But this was the opposite. The atmosphere, the feeling is we want all the participants to finish, all the participants to do a good experience, to have a good relationship. It's not about I'm better than you. I'm going to. It's different,
Yeah.
and I think for myself as a person, and also for the next event we are going to organize, the approaches need to be different of the other races because
Right.
uh, as you say before, this Ohana concept, if you don't live it, it's difficult to know it.
Right. Yeah. So where are you as an athlete then? You said you maybe you don't consider yourself Great. Are you, when you do an iron distance event, are you mid pack in your age group? Do you have a podium? Where are you on that spectrum?
I'm a mid packer. I don't know
Okay.
if the word, but yes, in Ironman, my best time is 11 hours and 30 minutes,
Okay.
55.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of my group page, more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
But for me, I think the Ironman distance is the distance I like the most
Mm-hmm.
because it myself. Uh, if you maintain some load of training more or less in the year,
Mm-hmm.
it's not difficult to finish an
Right.
Ironman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Quote.
Yes. Yeah. You got
uh,
the, yeah, just for for the listener, yeah, he's doing the air quotes that you're getting to the finish. Yeah.
okay. So it's like a medicine for me. It's like a mental medicine
Mm-hmm.
and also physical medicine because I enjoy training and enjoy competing.
Yeah.
So my medicine is one Ironman a year. This is my medicine.
Yeah. So when you go to races now, are you constantly looking behind the scenes at what the race directors are doing and trying to say, "Oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to bring that home," or
In fact, I always say to my wife, I'm not going to that race to compete. That is work.
yes.
Yes, it's impossible to do a race and not think, oh, this kind of, I like this publicity, this marketing, or even
Right.
I like the cycling bottles, or how the aid station are the
Organized.
structure or something. No, you
Yes.
always see, you can't unsee the race as a racer. You always see as a race director.
Yeah. Yeah, that must be fun for you. Let's talk a little bit more about the race happening this weekend. It's October 19th to the 21st, and this episode should be coming out on the 19th because we're releasing it early to coincide with your race. How many racers do you have this year? How many are male? How many are female? How many repeat customers? How many are newbies to the race completely, or maybe have done the distance but somewhere else?
Yes, this year we have is not our best year because, as mentioned before, we don't search for huge numbers. We always search for the better experience for the people who come to our race.
Mhm.
So we have 16 teams. Uh, 14 are males and 2 are females. We have 4 people from outside Spain, 2 French, 1 from Finland, and 1 from Italy.
Nice.
14 are newbies, and
Mm.
2 of them are, in fact, they repeat a lot.
Okay.
Always. Our Mikel and Juan are 2 of our best customers.
Oh yeah.
They repeat. In fact, as you talked before, I think nobody repeat 5:15 race because I think the people come do our race one time and never come back because it's a one lifetime experience.
Right.
But we are amazed how many people repeat
Yeah.
our race or anything race. But
Right.
in fact, Mikel, they only do 5:15 races. They love it.
Oh yeah.
In fact, well, it's insane. It's crazy because they do a month before one non-stop.
Mhm.
Week after, they be a crew member for another person who are doing the 5:15 in 3 stages.
Mhm.
But they practically do the same distance,
Mhm.
and they are racing our race today.
Oh wow.
And the design fits Michael a lot because it's they match the Ohana feeling in the first moment. They were in love for the first moment, and they liked so much the distance. But it's quite quickly because the double marathon 1 year to under 6 hours.
Nice.
So,
Very quick.
yes, yes.
Yeah. And so this has been your champion?
Yes. He's coming to our race since 2019, all
Mhm.
the years, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
And he wins all the editions
All the editions. Okay.
by a huge margin.
Right.
Yes.
And do you feel like maybe there's anybody in the race this year that will give him a run for his money?
It's difficult because Mikel is too big. He had uh, he had the size of the race too good,
Hmm.
and the other participant that repeats one, he comes to finish, not to race for the first positions.
Right.
And the other ones, the people who is the first time in Ultraman,
Yeah.
I think it's the same approach to finish. We're so excited about our two girls
Mm.
because one of these is Paula Mioto. He has a interesting resume in these races because she raced the 515 Brazil in 2017,
Okay.
the Ultraman Australia in 18, the
Mm.
Ultraman Florida in 19, and the Ultra 520 Canada and also in 19.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's a quite impressive resume.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that's another person then who definitely knows the distance.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. And
And
the
what?
other,
Yeah. What about
sorry,
your other female racer?
the other female is another important history because it's Carolina Granfors, is from Sweden, and this girl win our half distance race in Peñíscola
Oh, nice.
in 2019 when Tim Don wins in the male category.
Hmm.
She wins, but I didn't know she likes also the ultra distance, and she raced the Sweetman. I assume is the Ultraman distance in Sweden,
Okay. Yeah.
but also it raced the Ironman Hawaii, the World Championship, and
Excellent.
also the Alpe d'Huez triathlon. I don't know if you know this triathlon.
Sorry.
The
What was
Alpe
it called?
Alpe d'Huez is an important hill that is in the Tour de France,
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not familiar with that one.
and so it's a hill that has 2,000 meters of climbing,
Okay.
and it's a triathlon in a Ironman distance. It's like an extreme Ironman distance.
Extreme. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And Caroline do this 2 times, so
Okay. Well, that might be a
it's
nice
all.
battle in the women's
Yes,
race
yes,
then.
yes. I'm excited to see the women racing.
Oh, cool. Well, would you be able to give us a nice description of your course? And by now, the people that are listening are thinking, "Oh, maybe I want to come and check out Spain." You know, I've been wanting to go to Europe, or I'm in Europe. I can just pop down to Spain. Tell us a little bit about your course.
Yes, we think for the first time to when we were thinking about the courses and the the routes that we can, because we are a small region, but we are the second region in Spain with more climbing,
Right.
or there are not higher or high altitude, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of small hills. So we don't want to make extreme difficult profile of the states, because I think the kilometers itself of Ultraman is quite tough
Yes.
itself. But we want to the participants to discover our best points of our region. It's not a national park; it's like a regional park. It's
Mhm.
not that huge like in Canada or North America, but it's a small park. Have beautiful nature. It's a quiet because we have secondary roads that have good asphalt. Is smooth asphalt
Mhm.
and is so quiet. You can cross with a vehicle like half an hour. Is no traffic.
Oh, great.
Is
Yeah.
is also uh, more safer for the participants. High road or something.
Right.
And in the first stage, the swim, we have a 1.6 loop. Then they do 6 times.
Mhm. And is this in the
Normally,
Mediterranean? Do they swim in the
yes,
Mediterranean? Yeah.
yes. So normally it's like a pool. I mean, it's
Smooth,
calm, it's
calm.
calm and
Yes.
smooth.
Yeah.
Normally in this time of the year,
Mhm.
so they can enjoy of a typical Spain beach.
Mhm. And what's the
So
water temperature like at this time of year?
24.
Oh, okay. So warmer than the air.
Yeah. It's quite warm.
Yeah.
And then for the first stage, is more or less 1,500 meters of ascent,
Mhm.
more or less. We combine part with the roads near the beach that
Yeah.
are flat, with the hills in the interior of the region that are more beautiful,
Mm.
and then it's fast and slow. It's
Yeah.
convenient.
And when you go up into your hills, what kind of scenery are we seeing? Is this like now country roads?
Yes, like a country road, small towns, like a typical Mediterranean village.
Mhm.
You can spot a lot of olive trees.
And do they come out and ring some cowbells? Do they know the race is coming through?
No, to be honest, no, because we inform to these towns of the race, but it's to separate of the participants, and maybe it's
Yeah.
difficult
Yeah.
to
They don't
follow.
they just see people riding bikes, which is a common occurrence in Spain anyway, right?
Is yes.
Yeah. And how about your run course then? Is the run course a challenge, or do you keep it down at the beach on the flat? Where do you do your run?
No, it's flat because when I do my Ultraman, the run course was with elevation.
Mhm.
I think I don't have the opportunity to try it because my DNF,
Yeah.
but I think it was too hard to experience like a run course with uphills and downhills. I think 84 kilometers is tough itself.
Mhm.
So I do 2 laps of 42 kilometers,
Mhm.
and it's quite beautiful because it's all along the beach.
Mhm.
Um, in Spain, we have a thing that we call green lane. It's a former train lane, didn't use anymore, so the government retired the train lanes.
Right.
So it became a
Pedestrian
path.
path.
Yes, it's so beautiful because it's a few meters from the sea. You can see the water, you can see
Mm.
all the beaches, all the shores. It's quite beautiful, and
Yeah.
it's all the villages, Benicàssim, Oropesa, Castellón,
Mm.
and it's two loops. I think it's easy to digest two
Okay.
loops than one
Yeah.
uh, 42 loop, but it's all flat.
Oh yeah. So
Yes,
people that want to prepare for the Ironman in Nice, they can come and run your course,
yes,
or
indeed.
vice versa.
Yes.
I mean that sounds amazing as far as a course, and I've looked at a couple of your videos and seen how beautiful it is. Mm, for people that maybe haven't been to Spain before, what is the vibe like when they come to Valencia? Outside of the race, What does Spain offer for the racers that might want to travel in internationally?
Yes, as many people know, Spain is known as we are calm people.
Yeah.
We all do the things not quickly. Maybe sometimes it's not the more productive way to do the things, but we take our time to do the things and not in a rush. So the people is calm. He wants to we have an approach to a life to enjoy the life. We want to make parties. We want to have a dinner lately at 10, 11 p.m. in the night.
Right.
We want to have a beer on Friday with fellows or friends.
Yeah.
We want to enjoy the life, not in a rush. We work to earn money because it's necessary, but not in a way that is my most important point of the life is the work. My most important point in the life is to enjoy, and we have the siesta.
Yeah.
We
Is that allowed during the race as well? Do you have a siesta halfway through the day?
it's you yes. It's allowed. You have 2 hours, so it's plenty of time. Yes. So the people in Spain is like this. They want to new stories from outside. They love the tourists because the tourists is an important way of life for Spanish people. So all the people are welcome. We have a lot of hotel, restaurant, bars, and the people are focused on have a warm welcome to the people that come to Spain because it's important the tourists to our country because we are most of little or medium enterprises or companies and also a small business.
Right.
Our main productive way of doing things. So tourism is important for us. So we also are welcoming all the people that come from around the world.
Yeah. And you've done 10 Ironman races. So I'm assuming they're not all in Spain. As a European, you're probably jumping around a little bit. What's been your favorite Ironman race?
I am lucky to do all of some of the most important races. I do Lanzarote in Spain.
Nice.
One of the most important races in Europe. One of the elder races in Europe. I do Challenge Roth. I think is the best. It's amazing. Is I don't know how a small town can put this amazing race. I remember I going to with my wife. We're going to park the car the day of the race, and they were perfectly organized all for more than 20,000 vehicles. They have a space for 20,000 vehicles. It's just amazing.
Yeah. That one, they have so many spectators just lining the course and coming to the finish party. And
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And then I raced Ironman Copenhagen last year.
Oh.
And also I jumped to the another part of the world. And year before I do the Ironman Cozumel.
Cozumel. Okay, yeah.
It was quite an experience. Also, it was impressive island.
Yeah.
And also I do the Nice in 2019.
Okay.
And then all the others was in Spain. And for the next year, I'm signed up to Hamburg.
Hamburg. Oh, great. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite of those races, either for the course or maybe for the experience that you had in the town because the town was so interesting or inviting?
I like so much Copenhagen because it's I think it's a nice country to discover. They are a northern country with tough winters.
Yeah.
They have similar perception of the life like Spaniards. They want to enjoy the life, and
Yeah.
they were drinking wine along the river. Was quite it's a beautiful country to live, and the course was also nice.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, as I was saying earlier, your race is basically happening now. It's this weekend. Do you have ways for the listener to tune in and get some updates on your race? Do you do any Facebook Live or Instagram or updates daily? How are you going to update your fans?
We started from the first edition, something I think no other races in Spain at least do. All the participants have a GPS tracker. I don't know this.
Yeah.
Even in the water, we put this device in a buoy, in a place to the water didn't go inside.
Yeah.
And you can follow it in a page that all the participant appears, their position, the time, and who is first, who is second. And I think it's interesting because you can follow 5:15 race all around the course, or you are in Canada and you want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
It's important, I think, this kind of devices to send information to the viewers, or the person is also interesting.
Right.
And also we work a lot in the social networks, our Instagram and Facebook. Also, we try to do day recap at the end of the day, or some interviews for the first arrivers of the finish line, and something like that. And also we try to do a documentary at the final of the event.
Right.
When you publish this episode is going to know the date of the next edition for the 2040. And we're going to move it to May. All the editions are going in the past were in October. But we're with our new race, the long distance in Peñíscola. The boat races are too near in date. And this year we do the 5:15 a little later in October. The day of light is fewer, so we want to move the date to May.
Okay.
So in 2024, will be in the second or third week of May.
Okay, excellent. So people listening, they'll know to go to your website and check that out for sign up for next year. That's good to know. And I will put the links of your Facebook, Instagram, and your live tracking right into my show notes, so people listening can click on that link and see this live tracking happening with their GPS. That's amazing. Well, Manu, thank you very much for taking the time out of the last week of prep towards your race to speak with me. I'm sure you're super busy with organizing and getting those last minute things in place. Good luck to all the competitors out there and their crews and your team at pulling off another great event. And we'll be sure to throw some of the Facebook updates and interviews and stuff through our Facebook page as well.
Thank you a lot, Larry, for having me in this podcast. I'm sorry about my English because I'm not
English
fluent.
Is great.
But it was an important experience for us because I think we need to host a lot of more people for
international crowd,
and they can discover an epic race in Spain because it's beautiful and the people is cool. I think they will enjoy it.
Excellent. Well, thank you once again for coming on the show.
Hey, if you liked what you heard today, please tell a friend and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We'd appreciate it if you'd rate and review the show while you're there. Drop the names of the people you think we should interview, and we'll get in touch with them and make that happen. Thank you for listening to 515, the Ultra Podcast, a production of 55 Enterprises. Now really, go subscribe now before you forget.